There's a lot of civil unrest. This is Harper Harp. Please subscribe to my channel and donate to my channel with King YK, $ King YC in the cash app inside the description. This is a lot of discourse on this channel, and you need to follow and share it. There's a lot of civil unrest. There's a lot of civil unrest within our sector of community. Of course, we experienced COVID, and they raised the bar on that. We experienced in shortages. We experienced in there's a war everywhere. There's a lot of civil unrest. You know, when you do the decent and right thing, you won't have this problem, so to speak. People returning back to their countries is not such a bad thing. Everybody can't live in America. It's not made for everybody. But government tried to make it for who it wants to make it for as a power tool. Some people belong in their countries. So who's going to live in these countries if everybody come here? America's made for us. We designed it. We fought for it to be a certain way conducive to us, and yet still have not benefited from America. We have not benefited in the way we designed it. After we intellectually got together and made some more government, they start handing our wins out to other groups and changing our minds about how we believe and think politically. And not only that, separate us from following political analysts, people who are in leadership over us, so that we can have a desire to want to be corrected and to be corrected, a proximity to power. So we were suffered at the hands of violence and heinous exchange, so that we go in dire state and not really largely look up in a progressive way in terms of community and society, of laws that benefit us in our society, in our home, where we're the blood and soil and the bones of the country, in the bones of this place. And other people yet squeeze their way in here to be what they never were supposed to be, and to be what we were supposed to become. That is very out of order. That's unorthodox, very unorthodox. You have a nation, but you go and you clone yourself to someone else's fixings and winnings over their head when they don't have them, because a nation allowed you to. That's the universe crying out. The universe is the only thing that balances. I can say that with Tariq Nasheed said that. The universe is the only thing that's balanced, and it's going to correct itself. And you're squeezing yourself in someone else's pocket, in someone else's home, in someone else's children's plates, in someone else's wins, and someone else's progress, and abandoning yours, and it just sit over there hollow. No one's there. You can holler and hear your voice come back to you 10 times in some of these countries, because they're not there. And the government is bad because you don't stand up for your government, and you don't show the people how to treat you largely, and you won't go to bat. Black people in American civil rights have went to bat to get these laws, to get some of the stuff that we got, and still no real true freedom in terms of the Constitution and way by Constitution. We deserve reparations, and we deserve corrections and winnings, and to be able to live in these fine houses and to sustain wealth and community among society as a sport and as a sacred place of our own, to progress before our children and to teach them and to buffer them to be what America respects and what we respect as a people. Yet we have been diluted and been dysfunctional and inserted with all kinds of poison, and allowed our people to make money by promoting poison. And that is the way, the Jedi mind trick. If you're able to have a little bit of richness and a little bit of personal wealth from saying something bad, we're going to make it look glamorous. And now our kids have been following that narrative, and now they have been intellectually colonized, and we as a group have. And our politicians don't care, because we don't exist in the place of of opportunity. We are contagious in that, which is what people respect and what people need, and that's wealth. Now, the bad things that's happening in our country, people coming here doing mass shootings, Mexicans, oh, God forbid me being happy about anything like that, that children get hurt and something of sort, but you're squeezing yourself in the city of other people that built this city and that been harmed to do it, and you say it's our government who allowed you to do it. No, you're here on your own. I'm sorry, no other group is better than black people. There's no comparison. We fought for what we have. And the same go for you Africans and white people. We had to fight because they have been massively here in sectors and groups of Italian, of Irish, of European, of all sorts, even Dutch, come here to enslave black people. A small African group who um, was dispersed throughout the country, throughout this society, through childbirth and breeding, and became a nation of people under slavery. And now we benefit from largely getting together and making movements and inventions to a society that don't respect us and other people. You think you're going to come here and benefit from laws we put into place without us pulling it apart and unpacking it. No, we're doctors and we're scientists and we're also political analysts and we're intellectuals. You don't know who we are. The proof is in the pudding. You should know we're better than you are. You didn't do it in your country. The proof is in the pudding. If we can make a society respect laws that you benefit from, then who in the hell else do you think we are? We're the most affluent and the most intellectual black people in the diaspora globally. There are some very rich black men in Africa, $11 million men. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about intellectual in terms of a unit and a tribe. We are people who everybody copy. So don't you think that that narrative that you say black men are lazy, they always complain, commit crimes, is going to work. Because Somalians commit a lot of crimes here. Some of you Africans stand on the corner and talk to each other and drive taxi cabs and got the most nastiest mouth I ever heard in my life. And the nastiest ideology, and you should be shaming yourself, and you should be shaming yourself talking about anybody because you left your home as a man. That is cowardice. We not cowards. We stayed here, and we are not Africans. We're descendants of slaves that are here. And that means we got more than one thing going through our blood in terms of birth. Because of bedwetching and slavery, we have a history that you know nothing about in terms because you never had to do the homework on it. But this is our life. This is our existence. We have to exist in this place. This is not just a story and a fairy tale. This is how we exist. And you come here and you think you're smart with a degree. Yeah, you can be buffered in America because the white supremacists do not mind giving you wins because we are a threat to them. And they owe us. They don't owe you. And a lot of you come here belong to tribes who sold slaves. So let's talk about that. We don't owe anybody anything. And we shouldn't have to be marginalized and we shouldn't have to be talking to you, but that's fine. That's part of the process. We don't owe nobody from Haiti. We don't owe nobody from nowhere, but we love our black people, but we have to get this in order. You guys have largely been speaking over us like you white people because we have not been saying anything. And this is where it stopped. You're not going to continue to abuse us because we have to do this and put it in order for us to win the code of conduct to pursue the proximity to power and to begin power in terms of real correction and way by constitution. What we're owed. We are very rich people in terms of our litigation. And we're old. So those HBCUs and these universities are on the backs and the ideology of black men and women in America. Civil rights leaders. These wins that you have coming here as a Mexican and don't even know it and living in largely what look like white communities out in Texas, somewhere in North Georgia, belong to the fight and the struggle and the blood of black people. So you're out of order and you're unorthodox. And the nature don't like it. The universe does not like it. It's unorthodox. How you gonna abandon your beautiful country with corn growing and vegetables and rice and don't stand up for your government as a sacredcy to yourself? But you come where this world has gotten greedy. You all are a greedy people. And we stood up. We went through the killing fields of the South, hung on trees. We didn't have no food. My grandmother and them, they all grew up in a plank house, eating syrup and bread. Fannie Lou Hamer, marching with her. I'm from Mississippi, really. Until we got things corrected, Fannie Lou Hamers and them, Dr. King, Malcolm X and all them, all our leaders, Mega Everett's. We can go on and on. That you ever saw the movie The Help? The black women were made in Mississippi, and they were fighters and strugglers and freedom fighters. Mary Jane McLeod Bethune, a college after her name, a beach. We can go on and on about who we are. We can go on and on about our intellect and how powerful we are as a people. And you largely benefit. You benefit. That's why you come here. And what we're doing is we're tired of seeing other people take away from that which we need to live. We're giving you millions and billions of dollars. They're spending $60 billion a day on immigration. So it's unrest because you're squeezing yourself in an unorthodox space for yourself. And we don't mind people coming here, but you guys overdid it. Because the white supremacist is reckless right now, and they're scared. Their numbers are depleting, and they are jealous and inferior to the American Negro of having power. Because we have talent and we've invented so much, why would you give us also the revenue and the wealth to disperse? They largely think the way they want to. They are afraid. So they will use any excuse and any obstacle, and you have become an obstacle to exploit as a tool, and we see it. And a lot of you allowed yourself to do it. You allowed yourself to be there, and we're calling it out. And there's no you can say it's not all our fault. We need this, we need that. Well, what about what we need? We over here getting shot down in our homes, and in about a 10 in the store, Breonna Taylor, Tamir Rice, a baby, and we all over here while you getting loans from our government and everybody getting protections and bill pass while we're deserving of a way of reparations way by Constitution of what we're owed and land. People taking our land and our mothers' houses in inner cities, illegally tearing them down so they can build projects so some immigrants can come up there and add on to the whiteness of America. That's what they're doing. Every group that came here that is white skinned have been deemed as white Asian, white Latino. We understand this. And that's why we're talking about it. And you black immigrants who are now woke and astute, you sit up and listen and be very careful because you're not going to win on this. Reparations is the center of our argument, and we continue to fight.